at that time when I was there, there was this was my first introduction during that year to the work of Shimon Ansky, because there was an exhibit, a remarkable exhibit at the Israel Museum of the recently discovered collection of Ansky. That, as I understood it, was discovered by a curator at the Jewish Museum in Amsterdam, went to St. Petersburg looking for it and found it and created a traveling exhibit with it, and it was this mind-blowing thing. And I kind of didn't pay attention to it at first. At that time I was studying Jewish art at Hebrew University. I was there on a fellowship. I was lucky enough to study with Bezalel Narkis, who was really the top of Jewish art history. And I was at the library. They have a wonderful library at the Israel Museum. And I was just looking through books, and I was trying to find images of my father's town, of Lutsk. And I found these old books, Jewish art in Poland. Was it a book by Lukomsky? And in it was a photograph of the old stone synagogue in Lutsk, and it showed the Aron HaKodesh and the Parokhet. The Parokhet's the Torah Ark curtain. And I took the book, I made a Xerox of it, and then I started reading in another book. In the introduction, it talked about, and it was a quote from Ansky's journal. And he said, I collected, because I was looking up anything with Lutsk, right? I collected from, something like Kibaltim Akela Lutzkait, right? This was written in Hebrew, right? I received from the, do you speak Hebrew? Okay, so I'll say, I received from the Lutzker community a container full of objects, including 3 parochot, several menorahs, and he starts to list all the objects he received to take back to St. Petersburg to use in his ethnographic museum, right? Long story short, I said, oh, Ansky, wait a minute, there's an exhibit downstairs of Ansky's work, of Ansky's collection. So maybe I could actually see some of these objects. So I go downstairs, and I'm looking at the exhibit, and there on the wall are 3 parochot, 3 Torah Ark curtains. And I look at one of them, and I pull out from my bag this Xerox of the Aron HaKodesh from Lutsk. And I was looking for the tags, where they're from, and they didn't know where they're from. They just said Volonia, Podolnia, right? These 2 big regions, right? They didn't know specifically where anything came from, because they didn't have Ansky's record book. And there is the photograph of the Aron HaKodesh in Lutsk, and on it is that same Parokhet that's hanging on the wall in the museum. It was pretty amazing discovery for me. Just kind of, the serendipitous journey. So I was the only person to identify specifically anything in that exhibit. It's kind of cool.